let's get right into it.
Okay. Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to Spartan Arms. Today we're going to be talking about everything shotgun. I don't think shotguns get talked about enough. They're a very versatile gun.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump into 12 gauge, 20 gauge, pistol, pump,
Tactical,
semi-auto.
you name it, we're going to talk about it today. Let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. On the table here, we have two different shotguns on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. So I have here a Remington 870. This is your classic, like quintessential 12 gauge shotgun. This is the shotgun you're going to find in your grandpa's closet, right?
I was just going to say, that's your grandpa's gun.
Yeah, exactly.
It hasn't really changed much in the last 20, 30 years.
No, and I think that's why it's so great. It's an affordable shotgun. It's kind of your do-it-all, right? This could be your truck gun. This could be your ranch gun. This could be your home defense gun. I mean, you could hunt with it. It's just, this is a great all-around shotgun with a wood stock. It comes in under 500 bucks. It's pump action. It's a really nice shotgun, which is on the opposite end of what you're holding, which is what?
So here we have a 930 Tactical Pro from Mossberg. Now this, on the other hand, is not a pump. It is a semi-auto shotgun. Really fast controls up here. This can be used for 3-gun. This can be used for home defense. This can be used for tactical applications. It's pretty versatile as well. It's just a completely different system.
Yeah, it's a nice tactical shotgun, but
you've got a longer feed tube. You've got almost double the amount of ammunition that fits in this. It's synthetic stock.
Yeah, I mean, look at the accessories. This one right here. Well, we should mention under 500, just over 1,000.
Just over 1,000. Yeah, so you're almost double. But I mean, you're getting some cool stuff. I mean, you're getting like an RMR cut up top.
You got some M-lock on the front right here, so flashlights, RMRs,
you name
optics.
It. Better sights. Another main difference I want to talk about just between Remington and Mossberg in general is kind of where the release for the pump is on that. First, obviously there's none on this, but the Mossberg is in a different spot. Also, the safeties are in a different spot.
Yeah, there's a bit of getting used to between shotguns. When you go to look at a shotgun, you know, if you come walking into the shop, it's best to understand what you want it for, right? So I want a home defense shotgun. The chances are I'm not going to get something with a 24-inch barrel if I'm getting a home defense shotgun. You're going to go walking down the hallways banging left and right. You know, what would you recommend for if somebody comes in the shop for home defense specifically?
I mean, something on the shorter side of things. 18.5 inches is pretty much standard for most tactical or most home defense shotguns. Is right around that. There are some that are shorter. They make like a Shockwave that's 14.5.
Which is technically considered a pistol, right?
It's actually considered a firearm.
A firearm.
Yeah.
There's a lot of legalities when it comes to shotguns and things to understand, but I mean that's what these guys are here to help. You know, you walk in, you tell them what you want, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. I mean, the Shockwave is really cool. You know, I mean, they make a lot of different kinds, and you know, some super shorties, and they got the little nubby ones, right, with like an 8-inch barrel.
Yeah, it has like a little bird head on it. I wish I had one to show you guys at the moment, but we're currently sold out. We got more coming on the way, but it looks really cool. However, shooting it, on the other hand, is not the most fun.
No, it's not the most fun. Don't be one of those people who holds it up like this and tries to look.
Unless you want like redneck dental work done.
Yeah, that's a great way to get rid of some teeth, is to hold it right in front of your face. But okay, so you want to get something that's 18.5 inches. I prefer semi-automatic. You know, a lot of people think that a pump action is infallible, right? That you're never going to have a problem. It's the most reliable thing. It's not.
See, I love the pump action.
Yeah? You're on the other side.
My biggest thing with this is somebody's breaking into your house. You don't want to have a confrontation. That's perfectly fine. I mean, this sound is beautiful.
Yeah, it'll let them know you're there.
It speaks every language in a quiet house that is extremely loud, and that's going to tell anybody to please exit where you just came in from.
Yeah, no, it's true. There's a lot of debate about that. There's people who say, oh, you shouldn't do that. There's people who say you should. But I'm telling you right now, it's just like a dog barking. It's like a dog barking.
If it were my house, I mean, we're just talking opinions here.
Yeah.
If it were my house, I mean, that's definitely one of the roads I would
it'll make you think twice.
Down.
If you come through that door and you hear that, I might go the other direction.
Correct.
So, okay, so again, with the home defense, it doesn't matter, semi-auto or pump. You know, I prefer semi-auto, he prefers pump, and that kind of tells you where people lie on that. What about for, let's say you come in, you want to go skeet shooting, trap shooting, stuff like that. What are you looking at?
So then you're going to look at typically a longer barrel, something 26, 28 inches. You can get unbelievably expensive with these things. I mean,
crazy
ridiculously
expensive.
like $50,000, $60,000.
That's not the average though. When you walk in,
And we don't carry that, so don't come in here looking for it. But I would say the average is about $2,000 to $3,000 for those. They're going to have a rib that's going to have rigidity on the barrel to keep any flex down, and also help you find and track your target when you're shooting trap, skeet, duck, pheasant, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, and they usually come with the chokes that you need. So if you want to choke it down to a tighter spread, because that's one of the things you have to consider. If you're somebody who is coming in and you're looking at something for sport, you know, if you want to get a really nice tight choke for it with a longer barrel, that's going to keep your spread from opening up. So if I have a clay that's out, let's say 50 or 60 yards, the reason that an 18-inch barrel is not going to be so great is because I have these pellets that are spread out the size of a frickin' football field.
It's going to spread really quickly.
Yeah,
So you have
it's
a
not gonna
longer
work
barrel
well.
that's going to keep those pellets in a tighter group, leaving the barrel for a longer period of time.
Yeah, I want a tight. I mean, here's the thing: all shotguns are going to open up fast, right? So once that starts to open up, I want to make sure that I have the right lead on my clay and that I have enough of a mass that's gonna be able to hit that. So again, the chokes are nice. I mean, some of the 870s and other shotguns like this, you know, some of them are smooth bore, and you can find some that'll accept. Like I have a Remington 870 Express. It was like $250, right? It's a cheaper one, but it has adjustable chokes and comes with the different chokes. So sporting, I mean, that's what I love about the shotgun. It's so versatile, you know.
Yeah, and those sporting clay guns are really amazing. I mean,
They really are.
They're really fine-tuned machinery that you can change the size of your buttstock to actually completely measure, you know, what your arm length is and what the correct pull is up, and
the different actions too, because obviously we have semi right here, we have pump, and then that's kind of when you get into brake actions, you know.
Yeah,
you have the
need to talk
over-under
about-
brake actions, things like that.
Over-under, side-by-sides, you know, that kind of thing. But typically it's going to be your over-under for shooting that kind of. So also one of the great things about owning a shotgun is the versatility of the rounds that you can get for it.
Yeah, the ammo for sure.
We're talking about buckshot, slugs, target rounds, and then in each one of those three categories, there are hundreds of different options.
There are hundreds
I mean,
of different
it is
options.
endless. And to mention, the shotgun ammo is not expensive.
No, especially if you go with like the cheap, you know, bird shot, like 7-shot or something like that. You're just going out to shoot clays. You know, you can get them in boxes of 100. I mean, it's definitely, and that's the thing too, is for whatever application that you're using it for, like for home defense, if you want to be that guy, you know, and use a 1-ounce freaking slug, it's very effective.
Yeah.
Okay, nine pellet buckshot for home defense. That would be my choice.
That's
very
typically
effective.
the choice of a home defense. And
Yeah.
then,
Don't be that person that buys birdshot for home defense. I've never been a proponent of that.
No,
you know.
we wouldn't recommend that either.
Yeah, if it comes down to having to use force, then you have to use force, because you'd only use that force if somebody broke into your home if it was absolutely necessary, right? And using a pellet that's not going to be effective is not good. I mean, just about anybody will tell you that. But that's where the buckshot comes in handy. And how many different sizes are there? I mean, there's like 100 different sizes of shot that you can get too.
They make mini shells. They make
yeah, the little 1-inch shells. Those things are
the little
are
guys.
really cool.
Depending on the follower, certain
Yeah.
guns can and can't shoot that. You can ask us, and we'll be glad to guide you through that. Also, there's 2 3/4, the most popular. That's what's going to fit the most amount of rounds into your feeder tube for your shotgun. And then there's a 3-inch.
There's a 3-inch, which I don't recommend if you're a small frame person. The
Yeah,
3-inch hits, it's got a lot of freaking recoil. I mean, shotguns in general have a lot of recoil.
They do.
But if you get like a high brass buckshot
You're gonna
in
feel it in your
3-inch,
shoulder for
you're going to
sure.
feel it the next day. Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
And then there's several different gauges. I mean, we can go from 410, which is about the size of a 45 long Colt, all the way up to a 20 gauge, and then a 12 gauge, and then a 16 gauge.
Yep.
And some of those are pretty hard to find, but for the most part, there's just a huge gamut of different types of rounds of shotguns that you can choose from.
And I like 20 gauge. You know what's interesting is 20 gauge ammunition tends to be more expensive than 12 gauge ammunition. You know,
does.
It's kind of an oddity, but it's fun to shoot. It's lighter recoil. You
And
know,
I still think it's a great home defense weapon
do too.
with 20 gauge, especially for maybe some women or elderly that just don't have the upper body strength that we do. It is a really good option, and it can be pretty effective.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the velocities, okay, so you're somebody who's saying maybe I want a shotgun, but I don't want to go 12 gauge. Maybe I will go 20 because it's a little bit softer recoiling. If you just take a look at the box of ammunition and you say, okay, I'm going to go with a buckshot and a 20 gauge. Well, it's, let's say, 6 pellets instead of 9 that you'd find in a 12 gauge, but the velocity is still going to be the same, let's say 1,200
Right.
feet per second. So you're still talking about really the same effect, just 3 less balls in the cartridge, you know?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, with less recoil, same amount of cartridges you can fit, and
Yeah, so it's a
gonna
recoil
be,
benefit, really.
and it's
Yeah.
going to be effective.
Yeah, for sure. So shotguns, honestly, they're a fantastic platform that I don't think get enough credit. You know, there's pistols, there's rifles, there's shotguns. Those are your 3 major categories, and I think that there's been so many technological upgrades lately in the
Yeah.
shotgun that it's worth looking at again.
Right, and it, you know, and it just speaks to the versatility, how long shotguns have been around.
Yeah, like this thing's freaking rad.
The platform's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a whole lot of moving parts in there to go wrong, which is really nice. And again, I mean, we hit about this in the beginning of the video, but the price, especially, I mean, you can pick up a used shotgun that has I mean, people aren't shooting a ton of rounds through these things.
Yeah.
That has a fairly low round count, in good shape.
Yeah, that's true. Used shotguns are great
for
market.
really a good price.
Yeah, I mean, there's shotguns on the wall right here that are under 3. I think closer to 250.
Yeah, we
you
have
know?
Savage Stevens, which is a really solid platform from a good name, with a good warranty. That's under $300.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth checking out. So if you guys are interested, you know, come down, say hi to one of the employees here. They'll be happy to help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a pretty good selection, and a good selection of ammo too, and we'd be glad to even just answer your questions if that's all it is. So thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is Will. I'm Nathan, and we'll see you at the shop.